Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Well, good, because today I'm coming back and I would like to do a text-based horror game called The Uncle Who Works for Nintendo. I am 11 years old. What is my best friend's name? Oh my gosh, this is Jessica! Jessica's my best friend Jessica has invited you to a sleepover at her house this weekend. You've been friends since first grade, so asking your mom is basically only a formality. Asking mom. You never confirm this, but you suspect the babysitter may charge extra when there are two kids. You sometimes feel like staying somewhere else is the only way you can help out. Your best friend Jessica has invited you to a sleepover at her house this weekend. Gotta check something. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I've got two, and one is better quality than the other. I'll get into that later, but I am busy. Only a formality, I guess. Oh. On Friday night, you're home for only a few hours, long enough to pack, get in a fight with your younger sister, pack some more, and watch some TV. At 6 sharp, you're standing on the sidewalk outside Jessica's house while your mom idles in her car nearby. She leans out the window beside you. You behave yourself, okay? She says, as always. I'll be at work, but if anything happens, you call me. Okay, Mom. I'll pick you up at... No. Still wrong camera. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3, she says, again, as usual. But then she pauses, looking up at the sky, which has been overcast throughout the day. If you play outside, she adds, be careful. It's probably gonna rain. Kiss Mama goodbye. After you part, your mom drives down the street, disappearing around the corner. You turn back to Jessica's house. The lights inside are glowing warmly. You can see Jessica waving at you from her bedroom on the 2nd floor. I'm gonna go ahead and head inside. Oh. I thought it was a monster, but no, it was just a thunder. It's okay. It is 6 p.m. Jessica's mom meets you inside. Hello, she says. Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes, but you can drop your stuff off in the den. You and Jessica are camping out there tonight. Cool. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a set of patio doors on the far side of the room, you can see the sky is just as gray as it was when your mom left. Framed pictures line the walls, and over the dark fireplace hangs a monstrous pair of antlers from a buck that Jessica's dad shot years ago. And of course, there is the big screen TV. Sometimes it makes you uncomfortable how much nicer Jessica's house is than yours. Anyway, oh Jesus. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly. I already read that. Jessica entered the room while you weren't paying attention, and she now stands in the doorway, smiling expectantly. Are you ready for dinner? She asks. Yeah. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatballs, one of Jessica's favorite meals. As her mother points out while piling a helping on your plate, Jessica's father cracks a beer and jovially interrogates you about how much trouble you and Jessica are getting into school. Dessert is heaping bowls of ice cream drizzled in chocolate sauce. You can't even finish yours. Okay, beer is inappropriate. You can't do that. Wait, that wasn't beer at all. That's a glass of lemonade. Why would you even think it was a beer? Jessica's father doesn't drink alcohol. You're quite certain of that fact. Now you remembered it. Well, whatever. The grandfather clock in the den chimes. You go alone now, says Jessica's mom, smiling from the side of her table. We'll clean up here. Let's get the TV ready, says Jessica. The two of you leave the dining room and head upstairs. Jessica's room is immense. You stay in the den because the TV is larger there, but there's a sizable one here, flush with the wall opposite the full bed. We'll take the 64 down first, says Jessica, heading toward her TV and opening the entertainment center cabinet. It's her prerogative, of course. She gets to choose what you play first, usually. But as Jessica begins unhooking the cords of the Nintendo 64 from the TV, you catch sight of the other things she has in there. All the major stuff. An old SNES, a PlayStation. This game has good taste. A Dreamcast, but some other things too. Things you don't really recognize. A large box with green highlights, a smaller purple one, a strange white and yellow tower with what looks like gloves resting on hooks on either side, a compact white code. What are those? Jessica looks to the cluster in the cabinet. Oh yeah, she says. They're pretty cool. I can't show them to you though. They're still a secret. I promised my uncle. Of course you suddenly remember. Her uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. In the nearby corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a nearby set of patio doors, you can see it's getting quite dark. Framed pictures line the walls. Jessica is parked in front of the large TV, playing something on the Nintendo 64. You go to the bathroom. You head to the bathroom down the hall from the den. There's a shower, a linen closet, and a toilet. You don't have to go right now. Are you done here? Then take a shower. The shower is pristinely clean. A linen closet. It's a linen closet filled with large fluffy towels and washcloths. You're not sure why you looked in here. Okay. Head back to the den. I wanna look at the grandfather clock. It's 7:30. Frame pictures? You walk around the perimeter of the den, inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Jessica cradled lovingly between her mother and her father, or any one of the three on their own. A happy, tidy family. Look for pictures of Jessica's uncle! You didn't find any. Not one. The only pictures here are of Jessica and her parents. You don't know why that makes you feel uneasy. Time passes. The clock chimes. You are in the den. Well, I'm gonna talk to Jessica. What would you like to talk about? School. Jessica tells you that she heard a teacher. You both have the grade. Oh. Before is in the hospital. You ask why, but she doesn't know. You spend time reminiscing about the prior year. An hour passes. The clock chimes. I am in the den. Jessica's mother bustles into the room holding a large ceramic bowl filled with popcorn under her arm. Okay, if this was real life, which this is definitely not, I would have dropped that ceramic bowl already, and she hasn't even handed it to me yet. Just wanted to make sure you knew. How are you kids doing? She asks. Good, says Jessica, her eyes not moving from the television. I hope you're having fun, says Jessica's mom. Here's some popcorn, extra butter. She places it on the floor by Jessica. Almost immediately, Jessica is shoveling popcorn into her mouth. Meanwhile, her mother smiles first at her and then back at you. There's sodas in the kitchen if you get thirsty, she says. And some pizza from the other night if you get hungry. Thank you. She looks at Jessica. Your father's gone to bed. I'll be there soon myself. I want you two to keep it quiet, all right? Yes, Mom, Jessica says tiredly. Oh, and before I forget, she adds, your uncle called. He suddenly has some business here in town tomorrow, but he's driving in early. He'll be here around midnight. Oh. For the first time, Jessica stops playing her game, stops eating popcorn, and turns to look at her mother. Okay, she says. I want you two to welcome him in. He'll be very tired and very hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed. Okay, Mom. Good night, kids. And with that, she's gone. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. I already know this. There's a bowl of popcorn on the floor. You grab a handful of popcorn. It's buttery and delicious. It's 9. Okay. Do you hear that? That's the sounds of Mario. Go to the kitchen. Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen, which is also deserted right now. Fridge. There are a few things in here. Soda, cold pizza, milk, a water pitcher. What's that milk? You grab your snack and exit the kitchen. You head back to the den. Well, what if I just watch Jessica play? You're feeling anxious and you are apparently showing it. Jessica looks at you and bites her lip. Watch this, she says. On screen, the game's main character is in a car on a crowded street in what looks like a virtual New York City. Jessica revs up and begins mowing down pedestrians, giggling. You don't think this is very funny, but to Jessica it's hilarious. After a while, she stops the car and waits. An ambulance appears, and once the paramedics exit, she beats them to death with a baseball bat. Isn't this great? She asks. This goes on for a while. The clock chimes. You are in the den. I'm gonna guess it's 10. It begins raining outside. Oh. Ask about Uncle's visit. So why is your uncle coming? Jessica shrugs. Business! But I thought he worked for Nintendo. He does, says Jessica, frowning but not looking away from the TV screen. He's really important there. Does Nintendo have a lot of business here? Why else would my uncle be coming? Jessica says, as if you've asked the dumbest question in the world. Oh, what sort of business? Jessica pauses the game and turns towards you, visibly agitated. How should I know? I don't work for them. Right now, she is not quite yelling, but you think if you keep pressing the subject, she might. I'm not sure I believe you about your uncle. Jessica takes a moment to respond, as if she's not quite sure she heard you correctly. What? I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. You think you've finally done it. Jessica stands up, fists clenched at her sides, mouth twisting horribly as she struggles to say something. You watch as she takes a step towards you, and you involuntarily flinch. Jessica shakes her head as if she remembers something. Never mind, she says. Just never mind! You want to say something more, but she is already re-immersed in the video game. You take a breather. What option used to be there? You feel like you might have to go to the bathroom. Let's do that then. You head to the bathroom down the hall from the den. There's a toilet. You go to the bathroom and wash your hands. And shower. Linen closet. Okay, we're good. Head back to the den. Think about Jessica's uncle. It began with Mew. You didn't believe her at first when Jessica came to school one day and told you she had finally caught Mew. Prove it, you said. So she pulled out her Game Boy and showed you. There it was. Mew. The 151st Pokemon. Available only to players at promotional events. Somehow unlocked on Jessica's game. It's really strong, she said. It KOs the enemy in one hit. Jessica demonstrated this claim at recess, when you and some other friends linked Game Boys to do battle. You were the first one down. No one else got in a single hit on Jessica's Mew. You asked how Jessica managed to get it. Oh, my uncle got a job at Nintendo, said Jessica. You were walking home together, past one of the construction crews. Jessica still lived next door to you at the time. Oh. He also got me this new Game Boy, said Jessica, pulling it out of her pocket. You hadn't noticed it earlier, but yes, Jessica now had a sleek new Game Boy Color. Until today, she had one of the old ones, a big gray brick like yours. This one's special edition, said Jessica. Isn't it cool? You agreed. You snap out of your reflections. The clock chimes. You're in the den. It's midnight, correct? Oh, it's 11. Well, I haven't talked to Jessica about games. You try to strike up a conversation, but Jessica doesn't seem to want to talk about games and ignores you. An hour passes. The clock chimes. You are in the den. Moment of truth. The grandfather clock chimes the hour as Jessica suddenly looks up from the 64. It's time, she says. Time for what? Someone attempts to beat down the front door. That's him, says Jessica, standing up. I should go let him in. As she leaves the den, you realize you could follow, but a part of you really feels like being scarce for a bit. Where should I go? Run to the bathroom. I don't appreciate the noises my computer just made. You run down the hall to the bathroom and lock the door behind you. Or at least this could have been a bathroom. The walls are bare and white, and there's no sink and toilet. But there are some odd featureless white boxes that could stand in for a shower or a linen closet. You slip into the plain white box that is about the size of a shower. From the front of the house, you can hear the front door slam open. After that, you don't hear anything except for child! The rain. No, not just the rain, but that voice in the back of your head, like, I am coming for you, child! Like something you can't even begin to describe. Though you lock the door behind you, you hear it open easily. Someone walks in. Hold your breath. You're not sure how you know something is out there because you don't exactly. Oh, child! Hear it moving, but you know it's there and you know it's stopped. Poor, poor child! Right outside your hiding spot. It opens the door, even though you immediately realize it doesn't have any hands. Oh, child! I am oh so hungry, child! You cannot run, child! Hello, child! No more worries, child! Hello, child! Cease struggling! Cease screaming! I have friends for you, child! Friends for you in the dark! You will play forever in the dark! The uncle who works for Nintendo. A Twine game by Michael Lutz. An original game by Kimberly Parker. Abstract backgrounds made with Icosa by MCC. Scripts and CSS sources by Leon Arnott and Tony Hoke. Sound credits, inspirations, endings. Locked, run, locked, locked, locked. Continue, restart from the beginning, or restart from 7 p.m. in the den. I might do... How much time do we have? I might have time for one more ending. Nah, I'm ending this episode here. Hello, everybody, and goodbye. I am Marx711, otherwise known as Marx Matt. It is nice to see you, and have a wonderful life. Goodbye.